Hello friends, it's Scott. I'm here to give you some news about a very long and productive meeting I had with the new, relatively new, Director for Parks and Recreation for the City of Reno. Now, this video is specifically for the board members of the RDGA. This is some internal business, so if you're one of my subscribers or someone that checks in on the videos that I post, that's fine. Just know that I'd appreciate it if you didn't blab this stuff to a bunch of people, because really, as soon as we can make announcements on anything like this, we're going to do so. And if you watch the duration of this video, you'll understand why. Anyway, we don't want to be fielding a bunch of questions for things that we're not ready for yet. This is just where things are headed. You get a sneak peek, but just keep this in confidence between you, me, and us. All right? Thank you for your help. All right, look. Today, some of you on the board, some of you are new to the board. Anyway, the other people that are on the board know about this, that when we were building Mayor's Park, there was an unexpected change in leadership for the City of Reno Parks and Rec Department. And the guy that I was working closely with, when we got all the funding squared away and all this, the planning, and anyway, all of a sudden, a week later, the guy was gone, and I still don't understand that, but there was no replacement. He retired, and great for him. The guy still was awesome and helped us and was great to work with, but that caught me as off guard. The guy that was the interim guy taking over, there were certain things that were agreed upon during the development of the park that got put on hold, that we were supposed to move forward and take care of, and it got squashed. And we had bought supplies, and we'd spent money, our money, not the grant money, on some things to make happen, to make the course better, and that got put on hold. And it was, look, administration change, things get sticky. I get it. It just caught us off guard. None of us were expecting it. So, that guy's name is Matt. Anyway, Matt officially took over in full capacity because he was just the next guy in line, and took over and was scrambling for a long time. And now he is the official manager or city manager for Parks and Rec. And all of that's behind us. Matt is a great guy. We're on the same page about really pretty much everything. It was the meeting. We had a long meeting, extremely positive. I'm teaching him the game. I'm teaching him how to play disc golf. He may be joining our ranks sooner than you think. Don't be running up to him. Look, this is just the board members. You guys have enough common sense not to hassle someone that's just there trying to have fun with us and go, hey, what about this? And look, that's a lot of us know that's the kind of stuff that happens when too many people know about too many details. And anyway, look. The guy just wants to come out and enjoy what we're doing and support us, and he's got some people in his department that want to support us also. So let me get into some of the items that we discussed that some of you have been anxiously awaiting to hear about. Now, we have, before I get into the list, we have tentative approval on a bunch of stuff. I'll explain that, what those things are. What I'm going to do is recap our discussion today. I'm sending it over the agenda with the notes for Matt to give us final written approval on a bunch of this stuff. That way things are official, and there's no going back later and someone else in another department going, hey, wait a minute, or it's politics and procedure. So the first thing, though, one of the things that got waylaid during the building of the park, Mayor's Park, was after the Mando poles got installed, the construction foreman for Powerhouse Construction gave me a call and said, hey, man, listen, we never got the plan for the poles. We, meaning RDGA, never got the approval for the structural on the way those poles were built. Eric, who is an engineer, but he's not the specific kind of engineer that gets the rubber stamp on this kind of stuff, came up with a great schematic, and it's a solid approach. But those poles weighed a lot. They're really tall. and Eric will tell you the same thing. Luis from Powerhouse Construction called and said, "Hey, listen, man, these things aren't going anywhere, but when the wind blows, they're waving, and it makes me nervous." And we're like, "Problem solved, Luis. We've got a contingency plan." Eric came up with, and I don't know who came up with it. I think Eric came up with it, or anyway, we discussed it with Luis, and it sounded like a great solution. At the bottom of the elevated basket on 9, we have a cage containing some rock that basically is a finishing touch to that hole to make it look a little bit nicer. Someone's texting me. It happens to be Eric. That makes it look a lot nicer than just this pole sticking out of the ground. It finishes the hole nicer. It looks like it, anyway, it looks like it was meant to be there. And so we suggested making larger versions of these that we would finish the bottom of every mandrel pole with. And Luis was like, "Yes, that's a great idea. Adds a lot of weight. It adds some visual appeal and makes the course look nicer and more finished." And RDGA allocated funds. We went and purchased some items, and the plan got unraveled. The people that were in the interim management positions put a stop to it, said, "Don't do anything. These guys are finishing a city building contract for the grant. You can't go out there and alter what." Anyway, politics, right? So anyway, we have immediate approval to finish to proceed with that plan and finish that project. It will make the course look better. There's a few other things here we might want to wait a few days on for approval so we can get a larger volunteer work crew out there and coordinate some more cleanup or improvement items out there to make the course more finished. So that's one thing. We have a immediate approval that can move forward without getting a recap or an official in writing because it was already out there. All right, there's some signage revisions. This is another thing that doesn't need approval, but we're going to get some decals made in the same material to post to the signs on the. Look, there's a few things we need correct and clarify on the main map sign and T signs for the course, and a lot of you already know what those agenda items are for that project. Additional signage. We don't want people, we tried to have other solutions when we first built the course about bridges and a few other solutions to crossing the drainage ditch at between holes 9 and 10. People are continuing to walk directly across the rocks. We don't want that. There was a major issue with the construction of the ball fields before we got there that made it like even says I'm running out of batteries. Maybe make this quick. Wrap it up, Scott. They don't even want us touching that because there was a major expenditure to make the drainage work right because there was ball field construction caused some issues. So we don't want people walking through that drainage ditch. We don't want twisted ankles. We want to avoid drama and issues, and we want to keep the relationship with our partners strong at the City of Reno. So tentative approval for putting it. It's going to be fine. We're going to put a sign there saying, "Hey, listen, come on, work with us, go around." And the ideal solution is that sign plus 2 lengths of split rail fence. These are all things that the RDGA will vote on and absorb the cost because we want this project to work the way it was supposed to. Anyway, to divert traffic, people aren't going to walk across the drainage ditch and hit the fence and have to climb. They'll just go around like they're supposed to. That's tentatively approved. It will be approved in writing. Trail building, we have approval to start coordinating with arborists that we have relationships with that delivered a bunch of mulch to the ranch. We have to coordinate this a little tighter, that we can't have mulch sitting there for long periods, these piles, because it sounds fine. No one's going to steal that stuff. It's so hard to work with unless you have a tractor. No one in their right mind, once they put a shovel into that, is going to try to heave that into a pickup truck. Just moving it is it's not even worth attempting. The people that were with us trying to do that understand the difficulty. Look, the goal is to start getting deliveries coordinated, and maybe we'll do this one hole at a time where we lay mulch to create trails and shore up those trails with some rocks. It's a course beautification project so that people have further incentive to feel good about the course, take ownership, and help keep it clean. It sets a precedent for a mentality where people want to keep the course cleaner rather than just, what it is right now. It's the course is great to play. It doesn't look the best. We're going to make an effort to improve the appearance so people have more pride in the course and help us more. All right. So part of that is coordinating mulch deliveries. We'll decide as a group on which hole we want to tackle first. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. That's one of the things that we're going to be working on. We're going to get to some more key issues here in a minute that you're waiting for, but trail building is one of the things we discussed. Irrigation. Part of the plan when we originally discussed this course was putting in or tapping the existing irrigation at the park, like near the trees that are close to the edge of our course, tapping the existing drip, running some irrigation out to the course, and planting trees where the architecture of the irrigation would support that and not hurt the existing park and the water that's being delivered to that vegetation. They are really stoked about supporting our efforts to do this. And that's great because that's one of those issues that, although it was discussed, it was never approved or in writing. And they're going to be assigning someone in their department that manages the trees. They may even have resources for us to get out there and start doing at least a couple before winter, or maybe as winter sets, so that they're there ready for spring to take root in any way. They're excited about our enthusiasm to do that type of thing. And with that being said, that's for mayors. Some of you know that maybe it's even 9 years ago, we had a discussion and a plan with Washoe County to do the same thing at the ranch. The tricky part of that is that Washoe County owns those ball fields. The city of Reno leases those ball fields from the Washoe County for $1 a year or something like that. And it was a situation of, yes, Washoe County kind of agreed on it. Yes, the city of Reno kind of agreed on it. And then there were administration changes of one sort or another that made us have to go back to square one, and we never got to proceed with it. And that actually that same thing prevented the building of a course that we had approval to proceed with. That's a story for another time. Anyway, look, administration changes happen, and it causes delays, and it creates problems moving forward with certain projects. So anyway, what we need to do is come up with Luke is heading up the renovation and improvement project at the ranch. All we need to do for this phase of this, for them to consider their part of it, is to have me and Luke, or if someone else wants to chime in, fine, are going to get together. We're going to look at the plan. We're just going to go, hey guys, look, a tree might go here, 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 and here, based on the irrigation that we see that feeds the ballpark. Is it okay if we proceed with this plan? The plan should be minimal at first, so we can take a first step to making this happen. Because after the first step, if it goes fine, what this really is an attempt to get a yes and to get both parties to agree, because we have a different administration in Washoe County also. So we're going to get Matt's approval, mark out a few trees. We'll start small. Again, they love this idea, but because it's two government entities working together, that's ought to tell you right there, just what I said, two government entities. It's going to take some finagling, okay? So we're going to make the plan small at first, get some trees off that irrigation, and get the city of Reno and Washoe County to work with us in conjunction to make this initial step possible. And then once they see we've all worked together, we can probably move forward after that with some more aggressive planting there. But one step at a time. So that's going to be on the recap for Matt to greenlight. I'm going to get with Luke. If you get a hold of Luke, if you have some ideas, don't get carried away. Again, it's only a few trees right here, one step at a time. But this is going to be a big step in improving the ranch, among other things that we're going to tackle there. Okay, what else? that's, oh, the parking situation at Mayor's. Matt and I have already gone over this. Matt, here's a situation over at the City of Reno. We have plans. They're in motion. They will be in motion. The City of Reno, since the beginning of COVID, has not hired one employee to help with a bunch of people that walked out on the job. If anybody, look, if you guys are out there working like a lot of us, you know that there is, or doing anything out in the world, you know there's a shortage of employees because it's complicated. There was extra money being paid on unemployment, and then people said, screw this, I'm getting paid more on unemployment, I'm not going back to work because, look, whatever, it's politics. I'm not judging, but there's a serious problem, and we all understand it. It's caused supply chain issues. In our sport, plastic issues are a direct result, plastic shortages are a direct result of what I'm describing. There's not enough people to make the materials, to get in the hands of the manufacturers to make what we need, not just discs. It's farming, it's everything. But it's also at the City of Reno just running the parks department. They had people walk out on them. They haven't been able to replace one person. They're paying a good wage, but no one will take the job, and we all understand this in other areas. So some of this stuff might move slow, but getting back to the parking situation at Mayor's, where these wise guys are blocking use of the course on hole 1. I understand it's a nice place to park, and so does everybody else, but this park is being used for something else now, and that's no longer your hangout lunch spot. We're sorry. Matt had agreed before to put up some no parking signs. This has fallen back on the list of actionable items, but it's put back to the front of his list. He's going to do what he can to get this moving forward for us. And if we can help by just putting them up or whatever, I told him, look, we'll do that. In addition, one of the tentative agreements, Matt's going to give us an agreement in writing. He agrees with the idea. Luke had a great idea of chaining some of those boulders that are by the kids' playground, hauling them up, and not. I have specific direction once we proceed with this where we're going to put these boulders. It's just like when you're putting up boulders so people can't drive through on the off-road trails, for example, at Lizard Peak, when there's an effort to curtail that type of use in other areas. But anyway, look, we're going to put up some boulders, so not only will there be no parking signs in a certain area, there will be boulders preventing it, all right? So that problem will be solved, and we're moving forward to make that happen. So that's all good news. The garbage cans. There's a garbage issue. Back to why we're not going to dump piles of mulch from our friends the arborists unless we plan on getting it taken care of with a tractor in the next week or something. We have to have a plan of attack when that stuff gets dropped. It can't stay there. Why? Because there is a garbage issue at that park. Not people that play there, people already drive to the end of that road and dump out pickup trucks full of garbage, and animals attack those bags and garbage blows onto the course. They see piles of stuff out there, and this encourages that terrible mentality. I mean, these people are animals. What is wrong with you? It's disgusting, and it's causing problems for us, and it makes our course look like crap. So we don't want to encourage that or give anybody, any additional people ideas that, hey, this is your dumping ground. So that's why we need to handle that plan efficiently to get that taken care of there, get some trails built, okay? The other area of concern for garbage at the course is the garbage cans in the parking lot. Matt and I talked about it. There is already a system in place to prevent those cans from being tipped over. And all it is the cans are set next to poles, and there are chains that actually secure the can to the pole so that the wind can't blow them over. The problem is that Waste Management gets lazy and they don't chain them back up. So listen, if you're in with us and you're trying to make good stuff happen in the disc golf community, pass this on. This is one thing you can pass on from this little discussion. Hey guys, if you have the presence of mind to just check those cans, make sure that the chains are tight when you go out to play. Just doing that once, or God, even if all of us did that once a month, the cans would be situated where they couldn't blow over and blow trash out into the park and onto the course, okay? So if we can all be aware of that situation, we can help be the solution to that problem, okay? I'm just looking over my notes here to see if there's anything else. There's not going to be edits or shortening of this video. It's just a straight pitch. I just need to get it out to you. It's going to be shorter than me trying to write it or repeating this story every time we show up together and someone hasn't heard it. That's just like, I get tired of telling the same story, and the people listening probably get tired of hearing it again and again. All right. Oh, hey, you'll like to hear about this. Anyway, they're really excited about things that we're doing. They're excited about our attitude. This is going to be a great partnership. They are receptive. Keep in mind, this is City of Reno Parks and Rec managed properties. They're receptive if we see an opportunity to put a course in at a City of Reno park that's not going to be right in the, look, if there's a park that's already heavy usage from other areas, it's not the best idea to just go, hey, you guys using it for this, that, other thing. We're going to put you aside, and this is now going to be our park. That's probably not going to happen. Let's be realistic. But take a look. When you're out and you see a park that you practice at, guys, it doesn't have to be a full course. It could be a pitch and putt. And this goes true for the Washoe County also. It doesn't have to be just a full course. It could be a pitch and putt. It could even be one basket if it's a good location where it's not a bunch of other use in the grass. We might put a sign out there saying, hey, the Reno Disc Golf Association invites you to play disc golf. This is how you play. This is just a basket to try it out. A couple of baskets in a park where it's not interfering and causing issues for other park usage. They're open to these ideas. So he's going to look around and say, I've already got one on the list, but this is an old issue and it's probably not worth pursuing now. We can talk about it later when we get a few other ideas. But anyway, he said right away, hey, let's do this. I go, well, we've already discussed that, and it was at great length with a bunch of people in politics. But it's not very desirable. If there's something more desirable, we'd rather put our effort into that first. All disc golf is great, but this, like Mayor's Park, without those Mando poles, without that fence, a couple of those holes would be a breath of fresh air that are playing out of that park, but then you get out on the area that we already play all the time, like at the ranch. There's nothing else there besides weeds and garbage and stuff. We want to spend our money making stuff that might be a little more exciting for not only us to play, but for new players. So, but again, baskets anywhere are a good thing. Let's get the list of opportunities in our hands, and then we can prioritize where we're going to focus our efforts, okay? If you have questions, post them. One thing I'm going to wrap this up with, a couple weeks ago, I put out a post talking about the youth, getting the youth program going. I'll be honest, I'm a little discouraged by the complicated nature of the conversation. I feel strongly that we need to move forward with something like this. It's good for us. It's good for the sport to have people that are excited about this that are younger than us, because they get more people involved. We need more people, more younger people involved, and we need to support and nurture these players because they're capable of doing great things in the future, like developing future courses. When we're too tired to do it, we have to start now. But it's also a matter of it's important for us to get all people out and being active, and this is a great gateway to an active lifestyle. But kids have a particular challenge, and that challenge is these days, and I don't want to sound like an old guy going, oh, these days, and on my day, and whatever. Look at video games have a hold of kids, and it's devices and all this stuff, and I've got no beef with any of it. But the problem is that people have, kids in particular, have lost their motivation to be outside doing stuff and living life. And they're developing mental health issues and health problems. And look, if we can help the rest of the people in our community avoid those problems because we're passionate about something that we do, it's great for everybody. So anyway, look, there's talk about it's got to be Boys and Girls Club. Let me set the record straight. It doesn't have to be involved. The Boys and Girls Club does not have to be involved to make this happen. Would it be nice to have them involved? Yes. I'm not going to disagree with that. It's a great idea. This idea was specifically for parents who are RDGA members to self-organize and bring their kids out to make something happen. I already said this, but people are looking at different things and they're not looking at the big picture. They're ignoring some things that were discussed. We're going to develop a waiver. We're all going to take a look at it. The waiver is going to be signed by every parent who brings a kid to participate. No kid can participate without their parent or legal guardian there. At that point, the parent or legal guardian, having signed the waiver, is responsible for any and every issue that arises from their participation. It is not on us as an organization at that point. We are facilitating a community event. We're not responsible for how the parents are parenting out there, but they're going to agree to rules of conduct. Anyway, look, if you want to debate it some more, I'm going to post another thing saying this is what I plan to do unless there's specific objections. Please respond to that post. This kind of stuff wears me out. I think it's important. I think I had plenty of people on board, but I want there to be a clear understanding, and I'm going to ask for a vote. Anyway, look, that's 30 minutes of your life gone, but I think there were some important things there and hopefully some promising things. This time of year is always a challenge because it's hot and people are sweaty. If we were doing stuff where volunteers needed to come out, it's tough to get volunteers out, even though there's more of us involved now. But hey, listen, someone was talking about organizing a monthly. If that can't happen soon, if someone can come forward and say, hey, listen, I'm going to move forward with this, please do it. If not, I've got to do it, like now. We've got to have a monthly. People want it. People were stoked about the crazy challenge, the crazy tag challenge. Luke challenged it. Look, people want that. Let's skip doubles one weekend when we're not all at a tournament. And if you can't do it, say so now. I'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make it happen. Just tell me you're not doing your plan for the monthly that you had planned, okay? Anyway, look, that's it, guys. We're going to have a monthly coming soon. That's just local, monthly, low buy-in. It's not PDGA. And if you have any other, I know it's easy to get tired right now because we're out there trying to get to cooler areas to play and just breathe clean air. But if you have some things that you want to suggest or put forward, I don't know what's happening with Glow Round. Someone can post about that if there's any plans to move forward with that. Soon we'll get back to focusing on fixing the issues at Washoe, but I'm trying. Sorry, this was about the meeting, and I'm getting off on tangents. There's a lot of things to still address. Okay, look, yeah, I still owe you guys some brooms at the ranch. I'm sorry, at the Wedge. They're sitting here. I'm not here this week. I just got back from Las Vegas, and anyway, I will be back more. I will be at Lizard to run the round, but not play in it Thursday. If I have a chance to get the brooms to you guys at the Wedge, I will do so. If you guys are in Sparks area, maybe you could give me a shout and we can coordinate something. I'd love to get those in your hands just so people can use them. You know what I mean? And I know we started to talk about this at our official meeting, the election or whatever you want to call that, to start our calendar year. But I really want to move forward with refinishing the baskets at the Wedge. I don't want more vandalism going on out there, and it looks bad before they even started doing that. That powder finish on those baskets is lame, and we know that. But let's look. I'll propose that. You guys can vote on it. Some people worried about the cost. It's just like, whatever. Look, vote. I don't care. You guys can put in your opinions if you aren't official board members, if you're officers. Put in your opinions. The official board members will vote. We'll move forward on some of this stuff and make things better. Okay? I tried to do this one take, but there's one more thing I forgot. I just don't want to type it out. My phone's interrupting me again. Also discussed were the bathrooms at Mayor's. I forgot to talk about the bathrooms at the softball fields. I don't know how we access those. I'll get that info. But the bathroom, there's Job Corps out there kind of close to the course. It's a bunch of kids that are troubled kids, kind of. I don't know if you're familiar with the program. Anyway, look, they're out there trying to learn some job skills. And a couple years ago, these kids would get some time off and they'd go out there and just destroy that park. And that bathroom it's anyway, $20,000 worth of damage that made it unusable. So that's why that bathroom is locked. But in the next 15 months, it sounds like, I guess it really depends on how much help they have and everything to get everything done. But there's a park, the next phase of their Mayor's Park, or whatever you want to call it, Mayor's McAllen Park improvement program, is that playground right next to Hole One's tee pad is going to be replaced with a brand new playground, and that bathroom is going to be redone. So with our help and our presence out there, they're hoping that there's enough people out there always, since we're out there playing, that little creeps won't go in there and, like a little bunch of filthy animals, wreck the bathroom again. Okay, look, that's the update. Scott out. Talk to you soon. Bye.